Hello there, my name's Sarah Merriman and I'm a carer involvement lead for Yorkshire and Humber for Tide. Today we've got with us Jackie Powell. Hello Jackie.
Hi Sarah, I'm Jackie Powell. I live in Leeds. I'm 56 years old and I was a carer for my husband Keith, who is now 57 years old. Keith and I only got married 3 years ago, and he was diagnosed with dementia. He was diagnosed with Alzheimer's just over 3 years ago. He's also got other features of dementia as well. He's got PCA features and he's also got frontal lobe features. Once he was diagnosed, he went downhill very, very quickly. He lost all his executive functioning skills, and found it really difficult to function in daily life. I was at the time working for a brewery. I'd worked there for over 20 years. And because he went downhill so quickly, I had to give up work to look after him. I had lots of appointments. It was really stressful and it affected my mental health, as you can imagine. Watching somebody just disappear every day, it was quite harrowing. He attended a day centre, which was quite good for him. It gave him the structure that he needed, and it also gave me that little bit of respite to do all the things that I needed to do during the day to look after him. When lockdown came, Keith just deteriorated so quickly. He started having falls, he lost all purpose, and he just declined so quickly. He fell a couple of times and banged his head, and we ended up having to put him into 24-hour care because of the health risks that were happening to him. He went in week 7 of lockdown, and I didn't see him for 7 weeks after that. And he's in a care home in Bradford, and obviously they're in and out of lockdown as well, so I haven't really established a proper pattern for him. And that's basically where we're at with my caring role and Keith.
So how have things changed for you now that Keith's in permanent residential care?
Well, obviously, all my world revolved around Keith for the last 3 years. Dementia's been a massive part of my life, making sure that every day was the best that it could be for him. But then once the caring stops, then it's a massive shock to the system. You've got lots of spare time, and you've got no purpose yourself. I had to give up work, so I've got no work to go to. He is actually in temporary care at the moment, so it's just a case of whether that care will actually become permanent. Or whether there will be options for me to get him home and care for him at home. But whilst there's no day service, then that's not going to happen. He, obviously, from a financial point of view, I'm back on the scrap heap, basically. I've got no job. I was a paid carer to a degree. I got carer's allowance. But that's not paid care as far as I'm concerned, because if you work it out, it's something like 20 pence an hour, which I don't think there's anybody that earns 20p an hour. So my life is just empty now. I'm just having to pick up the pieces and rebuild my life, get a job and basically start again, but without the person that I love, the person that I wanted to be with for the rest of my life, with all the plans that we'd made. 57 years old is no age at all. We were in the prime of our life, and now I've just got this, hill to climb. And at the moment, it's just like one step forward and 2 steps back all the time. It's quite devastating, really.
Yeah, I can completely understand that. So, with regards to Tide, then, why did you join Tide?
Well, from a Pearson point of view, we did actually have a little group of early onset dementia people that all worked together, and we met at the Young Dementia Hub at Cottingley, and we wanted to make a change. So we did actually set up a group called A Different Journey, and it's called A Different Journey because it is a dementia journey, but it's very different for somebody with early onset dementia. The types of dementias are different, and the impact is different as well. It's people of early age that are still working age. The condition starts quite a few years probably before they actually get the diagnosis. And the impact is seismic, especially if you have to give up work to look after somebody. I'm just a small portion. Luckily, I don't have a mortgage, but there are a lot of people out there that are financially crippled by having to give up work to care for somebody and not get the financial support that they need. So we had a group, the Different Journey, and there's all sorts of things that we wanted to do, from peer support, but we wanted to be a catalyst for change. And we had all sorts of ideas. A couple of us joined the Alzheimer's Society. We joined the Leeds and York Trust as well for dementia. Went to dementia road shows, got ourselves a little bit more up to date with information and stuff like that. And then that's where we met Tide. So Tide are already doing what we wanted to do. So there's not much point in reinventing the wheel and going off on doing something else when somebody else is doing it. And I think being part of a bigger organisation, especially under the One Voice umbrella, it's more impactful when you've got more organisations coming together. You've all got the same goals that you want to achieve, and you need to be together stronger, because you're more impactful if you all come together and join forces to bring about that catalyst for change, which needs to be done. Dementia and early onset dementia is just the tip of the iceberg. The diagnosis, the signposting, everything is so slow. The last thing you want when you've been diagnosed is to get 100 leaflets forced at you, pick out the bones. We need to make change so that people don't have the journey that some of me and my friends have had, where you get a diagnosis and it's 6 months before you actually get into memory services. What do you do in that time? It's not a slow progressive illness when it's early onset dementia. It's usually fast and rapid, and the changes, you can probably see them daily, weekly, monthly. You need that support, and you need a support worker basically to show you the way to go. I was like headless chicken. I didn't know what to do, where to go, and it's scary. Your whole life flashes before you, because your husband's got the diagnosis, but you've got the diagnosis as well, because you're the person that's got to deal with it. Isn't you? But if you had a caseworker or something like that could hold your hand, then that would be more impactful, and it will help people to live life better, not just from a person that's been diagnosed, but from a carer's point of view as well.
So, having been a member of Tide then for a while now, what kind of opportunities have Tide given you to use your voice?
Oh, lots really. I mean, obviously they come in and they put their arms around you and welcome you in. Everyone hear everything that everybody's got to say. The information that you're giving to people is amazing. Just raising that awareness, but also all the sort of training that you do as well, for health and well-being. It's just so important, because you are running on empty. It's also given me more hope as well about all the connections that you have with the legal teams at the universities, and also the research that you're doing. I've been involved in quite a few research programs, especially around the impact on carers and people that have been diagnosed around COVID. I do feel that you're listening and you're supporting, and I'm just one person that is willing to speak. There are thousands of people out there that just can't find the voice. They haven't got the energy to do it. They haven't got the passion that they can make a difference. So the people that have got that voice, then they're the people that we need to tap into, because they're the ones with the stories that are willing to share. And they're the kind of things that people connect with and they can make a real difference.
So have you had opportunities? Oh, sorry, there's real feedback there. Have you had opportunities with Tide to tell your story to newspapers, to the media? Can you give some examples?
Yeah, I've had the opportunity. I've done a piece with the Yorkshire Evening Post about the COVID story and the impact that it has on people not going into care homes. I was on Channel 4 as well about when Tide are trying to get status for people to go into care homes to visit their loved ones. And also I did a piece on Daily Mail online as well about caring and dementia for Alzheimer's Awareness Week. So, you know, I feel that the opportunity is there for me to tell my story. It's not about my story, because my story is just representative of a small, you know, a drop in the ocean really compared to what some people do. But if my story can help make a difference and help people connect and know that the support is out there, then I've done my job.
Okay, that's great. So, if you were talking to somebody who was thinking about joining Tide and wasn't quite sure, what would you say to them? Why should other people join?
Um, I think it's important to be part of a peer support group. Some of the best friends I've made are through joining a group. Um, Tide's a massive, well, it's a big organisation. So it's able to connect with other people in other areas and just find that common ground. Um, just the awareness, what the overarching, you know, principles of trying to make a change for carers. If we don't say what's happening to us, then how do people know that things need to change? Um, this there's lots of different reasons for joining Tide. It's a great organisation. There's some great people in there. They listen and they're very passionate about what they do, and they're there for you anytime. You know, I could pick up the phone to you, Sarah, anytime if I had an issue. You know, I could ring, I could speak to Linda at Tide. Um, you're just there for support, and you've got great knowledge. You know, you can point us in the right direction. You know, it's a great find for me, and I know it has been for some of the people in my group as well. And we just need to get that awareness out there that there is a great company out there called Tide that's specifically for dementia, and they want to support you every day with whatever problems you've got. So it's just a great organisation, Joy.